Hey Savvy people, it's Savvy Nick here, and today we'll be installing a stunning XMonad setup. Let's take a quick look at what we're going to have after we finish installing the config files. Now this here is the beautiful setup. As you can see, it looks absolutely beautiful for a window manager, and it doesn't have quite the footprint of a full-fledged desktop environment, and it's still functional enough to be used as one. Thanks so much to Xarva for the wonderfully customized XMonad setup that you see right here. All right, let's jump right in. I'll also make sure to post a link in the description below so you can check out the repo and config files. There's some guides there as well. We're going to be kind of following through there. Right now, I'm at the home directory. If I list things out, nothing in there. And we can see I'm at home Savvy Nick. So get into your home directory. This is a fresh installation of archlinux. If you need any help installing archlinux, I have plenty of videos, whether it be a lone installation or dual booting. I'll make sure to post links in the description below so you can check out those videos if you need to get to this point. So the first few packages I want to get, I'm going to type in sudo space pacman space -syu space base -devel for base development. I also want the git package, the vim package, and the cronny package. You may have some of these already if you chose to install them on here, but since mine is brand new, I'm going to need all these tools in order to successfully build and edit files. All right, so type in your password for your administrative user, and I'll just press enter for the default. It asks me to proceed with installation. Yes, that's fine. Give it a few moments while it installs things. All right, I'm going to clear things out, and at this point, we are ready to clone things down from Xarva's GitHub repo. So we can do that by typing in git space clone space https://github.com/xarva/.files-2.0.git. These have been updated, and that's why I have this updated video. A few of the maintainers took the time to clean things up, make it more efficient, and allow us to have more of the setup already ready. One warning I will throw out there is that this doesn't work great in a VM. If you do want to make it work in a VM, I'll show you at the very end how to do that. There is a way to change up some files. Thanks to another contributor of the .files, they've made it work in virtual machines as well now. We'll press enter. Once we have that all in, we'll get things cloned down real quick. It may take a few minutes depending on your internet connection speed here, but once it's done, I'll do ls, and I see the .files 2.0 in my home user directory. I'll change directory, so I'm in the .files directory, so cd space .files-2.0. I'm going to press enter, and now I'm inside the directory with everything listed out. So there are a few install scripts here in green. We see the install on arch.sh script. That's the one we're interested in. So I'm actually going to make sure and just do a chmod space +x. This will make sure things are executable on the install script. So we want to do this on the install-on-arch.sh. Once that's done, we can actually run the script, easily done by pressing // and then typing in install-on- we want arch here, so arch, and just pressing enter. Oops, I forgot the .sh at the end. Let's do that. Here we go. We're welcome to the script. Things are synchronizing, and now we're asked about a video card driver if we don't already have one. So this is important to render things properly and make the best use of this setup. So make sure to select the proper drivers that you need. If you already have them installed, select option number 4, and that will by default skip this part. Now I do have NVIDIA graphics, so I'm actually going to choose the NVIDIA package. If you have AMD, you can select that, or integrated Intel, that's number 1. All right, I'm going to press 3 for myself and hit enter. This is great because since I have a fresh installation, NVIDIA is now available. It wasn't in the previous script, so I do appreciate the maintainers adding that in as part of the setup. It just makes it easier for me as I'm installing things. There's about 205 packages being brought down at this moment, so it may take a little while for things to install and download from the internet. All right, and here's another portion of the script that's going to help us set up a Arch user repository helper. So we get to choose a program whether you want to use Paru or Yay. The default right now is Paru. I'll just go with that. That's fine. It's the Rust-based AUR helper program. Yay might be more familiar for some of you who are old school and want to keep using Yay. Feel free. Just select option number 2. It doesn't matter. It might perhaps even be a lighter option. I selected 1, and it's going to take a few moments and perhaps install Rust here. Yep, here we go. Repository extra, so this is actually required here. One of these 2 providers, either the repository extra or community edition. We have Rust or Rust up. I'll go with number 1 as the default option and press enter. Now it's telling me that it's going to install Rust, and Rust is required to run this Paru AUR helper. So I'm going to press yes to proceed, and that's going to install Rust on my system for me. Of course, things take a little while as we download and install things from the internet here. Again, we're being asked to install the Paru package. I'll hit yes. And now we have a few more dependency that the script and config files require. I'll proceed with installation. Yes. And we're getting close to finishing up the script here. Again, yes, some more packages to be downloaded, including from the user repositories. So I'll hit yes. And now, once I get this page with a colon and a blinking cursor at the bottom left, this is just showing you what all is going to be ran. So just keep pressing enter until you get to the very bottom of this script. Again, it's showing you everything that's being ran. I'm going to press Q when I'm at the end, and then I'm going to be asked whether or not I want to proceed with the installation according to what's happening above. You can go through it slower if you're interested in what's about to happen, but I'm confident here that this is going to work well with my setup, so I'm going to hit yes. Again, we're asked whether we want to proceed with the installation because we're about to install more packages. I'm going to hit enter, which is the default yes. You may see some warnings go across the screen. Don't mind those. As long as it doesn't fail out of the script and give you an error, you're fine. At this point, we basically have all the packages necessary to bring down the rest of the packages, including XMonad, EWW, Rafi, Tint2, and all the other necessary things for this configuration to work. Once a lot of it's installed, we will be prompted to tell the script what resolution we want to use. Currently, there's 2 supported resolutions, 1366 by 768, option number 1, or option number 2, which is mine, 1920 by 1080. I'm going with the second option and then pressing enter. All right, congratulations. You've officially gone through the entire script process. Make sure to smash that like button for me because we're almost done. Now for a little bit of housekeeping. So in this version of the script, we do not have ZSH installed. If you want ZSH as your default shell, you can do that by yourself this time. All right, with things cleared out, one thing I'll mention is that there is a cron tab that you can set up, which will allow you to get quotes and the current weather periodically. I'll let you check out the .files in the description below in order to set that portion up. Just look underneath the installation section. I don't need that, so I'm not going to set it up. But the first thing I do want to set up is I'm going to use Vim. And in my home directory, so if I just use a tilde /.bash rc, that will open up the .bash rc file, and down a few lines right underneath the .bash rc line, I will put in a export space path equal to, and this is all going to be a string here, so path again with the $sign in front, colon, home with a $sign in front, and bin. So you can copy these things out of the config if needed, or if you just need a reference to see, make sure to use that. I'm gonna hit escape and then save and exit the file with a :x. Awesome. Of course, you don't have to be using Vim. Use whatever text editor you want or you're comfortable with. A lot of people will choose Nano instead. I'm gonna clear things out again. So what that did is just added some binary files from the home directory. Speaking of home, let's just go there. So if I just do cd space enter, I'm back in the home users directory. If I list out things, you'll notice a few things here. We have a bin folder, .files folder, wallpapers folder, as well as a note. If you're not using bash as your default shell and you have zsh, you would want the previous line in your .zshrc file. Just a heads up. So if you wanted to get weather, we have to edit a different file. So vim, we'll make sure again we are in the home directory here. This is in the .config location. eww under scripts, and it's get weather. So here we go, get weather. I'll open this up just to kind of show you what's in here. Notice I am on the line 18 called key. You would paste an API key here and then a city ID here, and that would set things up to get the current weather from openweathermap.org. If you want to do that, you have to set up an account there. I'm not going to set this up. Read more about how to set this file up either on the .files repo or in here in this file. All right, I'm going to quit out of here and let's continue on to housekeeping. I'm going to clear things out once again and issue XMonad space -- recompile, which will recompile our XMonad setup. Awesome, exited with success. That's a great thing. And there used to be a few files we had to make edits to in order to get systemd working properly with the config files. But now it seems like everything's fixed by default thanks to the maintainers. Awesome job. As well as using sudo instead of do as. That looks to be solved as well. This will save us some time, and we'll continue on by writing the files that will launch the environment. We're getting really close at this point. So this will start our X server properly. I want to be in the home user directory, so I am home. SavvyNick is my user. I want to edit using vim here, the bash, and then underscore profile file. Press enter, and then down here again in between the bash profile line and the very end, I'll type in start X pretty much at the very top and save and exit out of this file. That's all I'll need here. That will help us launch the X server. Finally, let's create a x init.rc file. So I'll do vim space .x init.rc, all one word, lowercase. I'll press enter. This is a new file. And in this file, I'll type in exec for execute space xmonad. And then we can save and exit out of this file as well. The last thing I like to do is edit my fonts right away, which is in the vim.config alacrity.yml file. The size here is 9 currently. I'm going to change it to, let's do 12 here. And I'll save and exit out of this file as well. So if things are successful now, we can exit out of the user and get back to the login. So I just exited out of the TTY session that I had going, or console, and I'm going to type in my username followed by my password, and things hopefully will load in. All right, congratulations if you made it this far. You've successfully set up the .files and the window manager here, which is XMonad. This is quite rewarding because you have now officially got Xarva's config working on your archlinux setup. Congratulations again. Smash that like button, subscribe below. You wouldn't want to miss more content, and only about 4% of people are actually subscribed to the channel. I've been using this for almost a year now. It's a fantastic setup in my opinion. You'll need to tweak things a little bit here. As you can see, the bottom bar here has a little bit of an issue. It's not really that it's an issue, we just don't have enough icons in it, but we'll fix that real quick, no big deal. I'll run you through some of the desktop environment. In order to launch our very first terminal here, and to get some appreciation of the Alacrity terminal, we'll do mod shift enter. Here we go. We've launched our first terminal, and I've made things bigger in the terminal so we can see them. The mod key might be your Windows key, or also known as the super key. So again, that was mod shift enter. Let's launch tint2config in order to edit the launcher bar at the bottom. We can do that by typing in tint conf, all one word, press enter, and it says here that we are missing GTK, so we can get this. Let's do sudo pacman-syu, and we'll install GTK2, I believe is the correct package. Type in your password. After that's done, let's try relaunching tint2 config by pressing enter, and look at that. Now we have the application right here on the left hand side. What I'm interested in is the panel launcher config, so it's this one, and I'm going to hit edit theme. This will bring up the theme and all the different options available for the launcher. I'm interested in the launcher tab, and we can see all these applications that we don't currently have. If we did install them, they would actually show up here at the bottom. But since I don't have them, I can click on the applications I don't have and use this right arrow to get rid of them, at least for now. I'm going to keep the ones that I do have and that have icons. And here we go. We're good. I'm going to add in this NVIDIA X server settings. All I have to do is use the left arrow. And I'll also add in Compton as well. And that's really all I have for now. I'll hit apply. And what you'll see at the very bottom, you'll get a reloaded launcher bar with those icons included. Now this doesn't necessarily have to be this big, so how can we change that? Let's go over to panel and change up the length. The length parameter is 66%. That means it's using 66% of the screen real estate centered. Let's go down. I'm just going to do, let's say 33, half that. And look at that, much more manageable. I can add in icons as I get them and applications as I get them, again under the launcher tab. I'm going to hit OK after that, and then I'll go over, and I see that my clock is a little messed up top. I'm going to go to the clock tint2rc, double click on that one as well, go down to panel, and I'm going to change this. Let me see if I change it to 8%, what happens. I applied that. That doesn't look that great. I'm going to change it to 6. Of course, you can play around with stuff like this, and look at that. That's looking a little better now. I'm going to do 5, and perfect. Now it's actually separated. I see my clock, and I see my two configurations separated. As screen sizes change and resolutions get different, some of this gets a little jumbled up, but now you know where to edit things and make it your own. I personally like increasing the launcher size so it's even bigger. I can see my icons better, as well as the top left and right status bars. I like to do that to them as well. All right, to close out of anything, you can do Super Shift C, and that will get you out of any program. If you want to learn more key bindings, make sure to check out this XMonad setup on GitHub, where they have a list of key bindings available to you. So Windows key O launches the Rafi menu here. You can hit escape to get out of that one. Windows Shift Q gets you a way to log in and out of the system. I'll escape out of that as well. Super Shift S, the mod key or Windows key S, launches the side menu. Windows P opens up the dashboard here. As you can tell, everything looks absolutely stunning. Windows Shift Enter again makes more terminals. In order to switch between different modes, you can do Windows key space, which will go through various different modes here in XMonad. If we have multiple windows open, we can hit the Windows key and move them around. As you can see, if you want to go back to the tiled mode, you hit Windows T, which will take you right back. So what I've brought up now is HTOP, so you can see how things are running here. I have around 550 megs of memory being used, but we can reboot things fairly quickly to see how much it would run right after a fresh boot up. Make sure to put this beautiful and stunning setup to good use. Mess around with it a bit, make it your own. I know that I like to change things up myself. And make sure to thank Xarva for this beautiful configuration in the comment section below. Let me just reboot things real quick, and let's check out what it looks like after a fresh reboot here. This shouldn't take too long. Super fast load in here, we'll see. Takes about 10 seconds probably at most. Just gonna put my user and password in, and boom, off to the races. It's going to open up the config. I'm going to launch a terminal. Let's check out HTOP since this is fresh. Now we're running right around 550 to almost 600 megabytes of memory, which isn't bad for a window manager, really almost a desktop environment. Well, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please make sure to post them in the comment section below. Also, make sure to subscribe for future videos and make sure to like the video. Catch me in a great community on Discord, and I'll catch you in another video. Thanks for watching.